Hello and welcome to Membadadu. In this video, I'm going to talk about whether lowering expectations and detaching ourselves from outcome is a good idea. An interesting question came up in a group that I'm part of. A person was saying she's afraid her relationship will not be good and hence is having difficulty finding a partner to have a relationship with. How often have you worried about outcome and held back from doing something? How often have you thought things will not work your way, your expectations will not be met, and would rather not try? The common advice that people in such circumstances are given is to drop their expectations and give unconditionally. When people are advised to not worry about the outcome and lower expectations and just focus on what needs to be done, they mistake it as a suggestion that they should not be ambitious. Some also think it is a way to ask for trouble because they are afraid they will be taken advantage of. And some others also think they would not have the drive and motivation to do things. Being detached from the outcome is mistaken as being aloof and lacking the desire to achieve anything. I would like to probe this further. So let us say you have expectations about which team must win a championship in a sport you enjoy watching. You're supporting one team while your friend may be supporting another. As they play and the game is favorable to the team you support, you probably feel incredibly happy. Whereas if your team is losing, you get all upset, angry, yell at the screen, and blame the referee or the umpire. You probably end up with an argument with your friend and feel you lost your face. All because something completely outside your control did not go your way. Doesn't that seem absurd? What we do with several other things, including our goals, relationships, finance, etc., is pretty similar. Whether you believe in God or not, you will have to accept that there are several things in this world that are beyond our control. From the weather to how today will turn out, we can see how things that we had not anticipated happens. As much as you try, there is not a lot you can do about this. Yet, we expect that the outcome of whatever it is we are working on must be as we desire. Isn't there an inherent chance that things beyond your control will happen and the outcome is the opposite of what you wanted? With so many variabilities in the outside world, it does not make sense to say our happiness and peace depends on a specific outcome. When I was young, I used to watch cricket matches. I remember how the team I was rooting for did not go to the next round, but they still had a match to play. One of the star players had been underperforming all along, but in this match, he hit a century. If he had played like that in previous matches, we may have progressed to the next round. It was the pressure that did not let the player take any risks. In this match, nothing was at stake, so he played his natural game and did great. We may not be cricket stars, but I'm quite sure we can all relate to this. Being too attached to the outcome and taking the pressure of dealing with our expectations and other people's expectations does not let us engage in our natural state and full capability. If the player had thought it does not matter what happens, I will give it my best, things would have been different in the previous matches. When we obsess with the outcome and all we see is our expectation, there is every possibility that we turn blind to anything better that may happen. Our urge to focus only on that one thing shuts the door on possibilities. The obsession is so intense that we will not dare to experiment. Have you ever tried to look at an object very closely, only to realize when it gets too close to your eyes, you cannot see it clearly? It defies the purpose. It is similar when you are too focused on the outcome. It does not improve your chance of achieving it. So, is there nothing you can do and you could just sit back? No. What is in your control is the action. What can you do to attain the outcome you so desire? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says we have a right over our deeds or actions, but have no rights over the outcome. Focusing on the outcome would mean your focus is not on the present moment. When you focus on your actions that have the potential to lead you to an outcome you desire, you live in the moment doing the action. Now, stepping back to the example of a lady worrying about losing a relationship, When in a relationship, rather than having expectations about how it must go and then worrying about what if it does not go her way, don't you think her chance of having a healthy relationship is better if she focuses on being there and giving her best? Now, if you were to sow some seeds to grow plants, you will bury the seeds, put required feed, and water it, and wait for them to germinate in their time. You will not dig them out to keep checking, and instead, you will do everything you can to enable the desired outcome. Similarly, when you do have a desired outcome, rather than overthinking about it and worrying about whether it will happen or not, focus on what you need to do. When a friend asks you for advice, have you noticed that you become a pro consultant and throw solution after solution to their problems? Have you wondered why you're able to advise others much more easily than picking yourself up? It is due to detachment. You're not caught up in the thinking that your friend has. The outcome has no direct impact on you. You do not have to worry about the results. With no such pressure on you, you become the wise one that can fire away solutions. Now think of how detaching yourself from the outcome could do to you. Could you not see possibilities and solutions better in your own life? When you let go of expectations, your thinking drops, and you no longer recycle the same thoughts about what if something goes wrong and what else you could do. It is quite easy to have a burnout if you overthink. When your thinking drops, you in fact allow fresh thoughts to come in, and this in fact would help you with getting what you so want. Obsessing and overthinking are not key to achieving. Being present and open to possibilities is. Here's another reason. When you say your happiness, peace, and well being is subject to the outcome or someone meeting your expectations, then you're letting the outside world control you. As we saw before, this can be extremely dangerous. Most things except our actions are out of our control. So we are handing our happiness to totally unknown, uncontrolled factors. True detachment from outcome or expectation is when you know and acknowledge that the outcome does not affect your well being and identity. Life is not about the outcome, it is about the journey. Take the outcome in your stride. After all, the journey makes it worthwhile. You are your best when you enjoy the journey without expectations, and that is all the motivation you need. Enjoy what unravels.